tracks. Bravely we proven our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. Oh, because I said oops. That's why. I sent my friend a message. I said, whoops, I went live again. And she said, you should pull out the knives and be Brittany. Now I get it. Because her song. Oops, I did it again. Woo! I've been fucking with these cats since they were little. Yeah, was I hurting you? I'm sorry. He usually doesn't bite me. It wasn't even really a bite. It was a, please stop that, Dad. I meowed and I warned you, but you did not listen. You did not listen, human. Nothing like love from Dad, huh? Nothing like some love from Dad. Yes. He's probably going to bite me again here in a second. Yeah, it took me a second to catch that joke, Amber. But I finally worked it out. Yeah. He's got little knives in his paws. That's as close as I could get. But I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know how to go about doing a Britney impersonation. All right. So we're going to be in the big book. We're going to be in the big book talking about step 4 and 5. I figured we'd probably end the month on something like that. Tomorrow at 11, my friend Christine will be joining us. She is a licensed drug and alcohol counselor. She believes she's done therapy for DUI classes, does other DUI classes, has worked detox. She did not go the AA route. In fact, she is a staunch atheist, I believe. I don't know. I don't really know what she thinks of God. It's never really come up. It hasn't needed to, but we usually talk once a week. We talk every week just to talk because we're like-minded. Yeah, you need that. There we go. Here, we'll turn you so that you're on. Yeah, this is my chair. This is nobody else's chair. See his face. He's all, fuck you. He loves this chair. If I get out of it for a second, he jumps in it because he likes to spin them around. And all right. So, but we're going to bring her on. We're going to be talking about, how to stay and recover, stay sober when things get kind of tough. That's what we're going to talk about because it's something that's on her mind. But I asked her last week. I said, hey, you should go live with me every other week. We should take some time because what we talk about and everything we talk about might as well be a radio show. It might as well be. And I think you guys will really like her. She's awesome. She's not in AA, but she's been sober for a while. I don't know how long. I do not know how long this has been. All right. Okay. So we're going to start on page 66. Number 9. I am not a number. I am a free man. Welcome to Daily Trudge. Dion, not number 9. It's an Iron Maiden song. That portion is from a movie. I think Soylent Green. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. Now he's just on the other side. Or he's hunting something. Don't jump on him. In fact, he hates you. I'm going to go ahead and pet you, though. This guy right here, he's the bully. He is. And I have another cat. He's down here. You see him every now and again. Sawyer. And he's getting ready to jump on Sawyer. And Sawyer will be pissed if he does that. Move that over to chat. It is plain that a life which includes deep resentment only leads only to futility and unhappiness. To the precise extent that we permit these, do we squander the hours that might have been worthwhile? What they're saying is we allow other people to control our emotions. That's what they're saying there. All right. And that when we do that, then we are expending useless energy that could have been put towards something better in your life. Okay. You may have heard something like this, but it isn't that you're going to get angry. It's where you place that anger. Where are you going to place it? Are you going to place it in something that's going to be constructive or destructive? But with the alcoholic whose hope is the maintenance and growth of a spiritual experience, this business of resentment is infinitely grave. You cannot grow spiritually while you're living in resentment. At least that's been my experience. I don't grow when I'm living in resentment. When I allow people to live rent free in my head for hours on time. All right. One of the things my mom told me when I was younger, she said, Dion, if you want to be angry about something, be angry for about 10 minutes and then move on. See, that way you gave yourself permission to be angry for a little bit, but at some point you've got to make the decision to move on. Took me a while. I mean, I understood what she said, but doing it was very, very hard for me. Well, in order to do that, I got to talk about it first. I got to do that step 4 and 5, right? All right. So it's infinitely great. We found that it is fatal. For when harboring such feelings, we shut ourselves off from the sunlight of the spirit. The insanity of alcohol returns, and we drink again. And with us, to drink is to die. It can affect you in more ways than that. Anger can literally destroy the body from the inside out. Causes heart attacks, strokes, stomach problems, neck and back problems. Yeah, sure does. See, told you. You probably couldn't hear that. But he jumped down and so he went, meow, meow, meow. I mean, literally like that too. I do pretty good impressions of my cats. Right. I got 4 of them down here. When they meow, I know which one it is. Even when they lay down next to me and I'm asleep, I know which one it is just by the way they lay down and where they lay down. I got too much time on my hands. Time. All right. If we were to live, we had to be free of anger. If you want to be alive and enjoy this world, we've got to be free of anger. The Grouch and the Brainstorm were not for us. They may be the dubious luxury of normal men, but for alcoholics, these things are poison. Now, even for normal people, non-alcoholics, this stuff is poison. It is poison. I'm not sure, Amber. I'm not sure. Andor's on in 20 minutes. Season 2 of Andor. Andor. What time is it at? Is it at 7 or 7:30? Remind me. I will be going soon. If I don't today, I will be going soon. I'm getting there. So you have to do things slowly. Like, right, it took me a little while to get to the point where I'm staying up till midnight and I wake up at 10. Right? Yes, I need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night, which is better than it used to be at 14, 15. But I only get so much time, and I can feel my energy waning. It's because I did all that. I did all that moving yesterday with my daughter, so I'm kind of tired. All right, we turn back to the list for held the key to the future. We were prepared to look at it from an entirely different angle. Now, what are they talking about? Well, our first list is the grudge list. Oh, we get to sit down, write all people that made us angry. Nah, 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 nah. Made me angry. Should be angry. Yeah. Me. Right? But as we go through the list, we discover how awfully wrong we'd been about a lot of things. We get to see the insanity of the disease because we start to repeat ourselves. We can see where it was self-seeking, how we expected them to be. That's one of the lists that I had to do. How I expect them to be. So, a lot of people know the fourth step and fifth step now, but it used to be that you really didn't know until you finished it and realized that it wasn't about the other person at all. None of it was. That when it actually came down to it, that my grudge list wasn't really a grudge list. No, it was my amends list. It takes two to tango, man. It takes two to tango, right? So we were able to look at it from an entirely different point of view. We began to see that the world and its people dominated us and that we allowed it. Why did we allow it? Because it gave us great reasons to drink. Gave us fantastic reasons to drink, right? In that state, the wrongdoings of others, fancied or real, had the power to actually kill. How could we escape? We saw that these resentments must be mastered, but how? We could not wish them away any more than alcohol. This was a hard one, man. I had a lot of anger. Sometimes my mind would run so much that I would stop. I'd be like, Dion, would you shut the fuck up? Dion, could you just please shut up? I'm tired of hearing it. Yeah, I've done that before. It's been a long time. Thank you, God. I'm free of a lot of things. I'm going to hold on 1 second here because I got to yell. If I don't yell at him, then he just walk around. He just walks around, meow, meow. Dude, we all know you're the oldest, you cranky fuck. And what's funny is that cat used to be so antisocial. He used to be so antisocial. Now he thinks he's king of the castle. King of the castle. This was our course. We realized that the people who wronged us were perhaps spiritually sick. Like who? Like me. Like me. See, when other people disturb me now, where I usually land is, well, Dion, they're human and they're spiritually sick, just like you. Now we're on the same level. Now I can do something about it. It's when we start putting ourselves on these different levels. Well, I'm better than them because I da-da-da-da-da. If you've been in the program for a little bit, somebody sooner or later is going to say, oh, you got sober. Now you just think you're better than me. No, I don't. I'm still pretty fucked up. But I'm trying. Though we did not like their symptoms and the way they disturbed us, like ourselves, we're sick too. You spot it, you got it. It's a good way to learn some of your character defects. Looking what other people are doing that disturbs you is usually something that you are doing that you don't want to admit. Something about yourself that you don't like, but you're not willing to admit it. So you point it out in other people. I watch it happen all the time. I do. We ask God to help us show the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerily grant a sick friend. I'm sorry. That one was tough for me. Why? Because I didn't have any fucking friends, man. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know what friendship was. So I moved that to, my wife, children, things like that. Leisure says, damn, Dion, there's a lot of work and effort in this program. I know. What an order. I can't go through of it. Well, Leisure, do not be discouraged. Many among us. That worked out very well for me. Many of among us have, okay. All right. We had to ask, when a person offended, we said to ourselves, this is a sick man. How can I be helpful? God save me from being angry. Thy will be done. Now, don't proclaim that somebody's sick. Nowadays, people are calling it toxic. I'm not jumping on the toxic train, man. Calling people toxic. I'm not a therapist. It's name calling. You know what the worst name to have right now is Karen. It would suck if your name was Karen. Right? Yeah. We avoid retaliation and argument. We literally avoid it. Now, here's the cool thing. When you become a different person and you have different intentions, then you will actually attract a different type of person. The people that are attracted to me that hang out with me want to grow. They want to be better people. They want to move forward in life. They see that character building and humility is a way to go. People that don't want to do the work run from me. They will. They'll run. They don't want to be around me because I disturb their spirituality. Right? I'm not doing that on purpose. Right? But I'm also not going to change. I'm not going to be something I'm not. Right? But so what does this mean? We avoid retaliation or argument. It means we don't go seeking it anymore. Like starting a fight on Facebook for no reason. Right? We wouldn't treat sick people that way. Well, yeah, I would. Gotta be careful of that sick people. But when I can understand that they have a spiritual malady like me, that it makes me think of it differently. Right? We wouldn't treat sick people that way. If we do, we destroy our chance of being helpful. We cannot be helpful to all people, but at least God will show us the way, will show us how to take a kindly and tolerant view of each and every one. I don't know why this example popped into my head, but it did. When I went through my recovery coach training, sorry, the trainer, and there was just casual conversation before it even got started, literally cut down AA. He was a gay man, and he cut it down. Well, AA just doesn't, for the gay man. And the first thing he did, do you know how much respect I had for him at that point? Why would I listen to a person who sits there and goes, oh, we support multiple pathways to recovery, but I hate AA? Well, that doesn't help. Right? Same thing. From that point, he destroyed all chance of being helpful to me. Thankfully, he wasn't the main trainer. It was somebody else, right? We cannot be helpful to all people. Not all people want my help. Most do not. No. It takes a while for it. It usually takes people a while to understand what I'm actually doing here, because I come off a lot like the other places. But when they find out that I don't come on here and just talk about how great my life is and everything else, and that I'm not looking for your accolades, then they start to figure it out. Then they start to figure it out. Then they want what I have. But I can't be helpful to everybody. But at least God will show us how to take a kindly and tolerant view of each and every one. Kindly and tolerant, not nice. I am not a nice person, but I am kind. That's the difference between sympathy and empathy again. A nice person means I'm going to allow you to walk over me. A kind person is going to be like, hey, I respect that you're trying to go this way, but you're crossing a boundary, and I ain't going to let that happen. I can love too much, but I can also completely ignore. Yeah. I understand that one, Leisure. Right. Returning to our list again, putting out of our minds wrong others had done, we resolutely look for our own mistakes. This is our inventory, not someone else's. Right. In the book, they make a reference that any business that usually doesn't take inventory usually goes broke. Okay. So if, let's say I'm taking inventory and I work at Target, but I go to Walmart's and do their inventory, not going to do me much good, is it? I got to take my own inventory. Okay. Where have we been selfish, dishonest, self-seeking, and frightened? Well, there's 4 of the list right there. There's 4 of them right there. Selfish, dishonest, self-seeking, and frightened. Though a situation had not been entirely our fault, which it takes 2 to tango, I don't care what the situation is, we tried to disregard the other person involved entirely. Where were we to blame? And why is that? Because I can change me. I can change me, but I can't change them. The inventory was ours, not the other man's. When we saw our faults, we listed them. We placed them before us in black and white. We admitted wrongs honestly and were willing to set these matters straight. What does putting in black and white mean? It means pen to paper. It means pen to, because it's a black pen and white paper. Black and white. That's what that means. Okay. We do not type out our lists. It has to be written. I don't know, and maybe I'll take a deeper look into why putting pen to paper is a lot more powerful than typing it. But it is. I think it's the effort that's put into it, and that you're kind of looking at, and you're totally involved. Your head is down, you know. What are the benefits for pen to paper? We'll find out. Notice that the word fear is bracketed along the side the difficulties with Mr. Brown, Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones. Mr. Jones starts up a conversation. Look, kind of gross. The employer and his wife. This short word somehow touches about every aspect of our lives. It was an evil and corroding thread. The fabric of our existence was shot through with it. For me, and you'll find this out too, most of you have already done your 4th and 5th step, that fear was the basis of every single resentment. Every time I get angry, every time I get disturbed, it is fear. It is fear. And I had a lot of fears, man. And not just the fear of like heights and spiders and snakes and those kinds of things. Fear of abandonment. Fear that I'm going to lose something that I really want in my life. Or a fear that I may not get what I think I deserve. Sometimes I have the fear that other people are not going to get what they deserve too. Still a fear. Still that same type of fear. Those are the two types of fears, right? And it's a generalization, but you'll find every resentment fits into one of those types of fears. It set in motion trains of circumstance which brought us misfortune we felt we didn't deserve. But did we not ourselves set the ball rolling? Yeah, I did. It's like pushing a rock down a hill, man. Sometimes we think fear ought to be classed with stealing. It seems to cause more trouble. We reviewed our fears thoroughly. We put them on paper, even though we had no resentment in connection with them. I didn't. You do a fear list? I did a fear list. We asked ourselves why we had them. Wasn't it because self-reliance failed us? Self-reliance was as good as far as it went, but it didn't go far enough. Some of us once had great self-confidence, but it didn't fully solve the fear problem or any other. When it made us cocky, it was worse. Oh, man, do what I want. Do this. Like you can just walk, go do anything you want. So what do we need? We need more courage. We need more courage, man. Right? I had an example in my head and it went away. And self-reliance is good as it went. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back. Heights. All right. And this is how we get down to causes and conditions. So a fear which has no resentment, heights. Now, I don't have a fear of heights. If I get up on the roof all by myself, I'm okay. If I go rock climbing, just fine. But if you think I'm going to get on a roller coaster where somebody else has control over my life, it's when I don't have control. That's the fear. When I don't have control. Perhaps there is a better way. We think so. For we are now on a different basis. The basis of trusting and relying upon God. We trust infinite God rather than our finite selves. We are in the world to play the role he assigns. Just to the extent that we do as we think he would have us and humbly rely on him, does he enable us to match calamity with serenity. And this can be done. It can be achieved. I did it. I have PTSD and I did it. All right. We never apologize to anyone for depending on our higher power. Had to shut the door. Wife's came home. She's listening to something. All right. We never apologize to anyone for depending on our Creator. People ask me a lot, Dion, you have a lot of courage. You're transparent. How'd you do that? And my answer is usually this: God. Because my reliance is upon God. You think it's my courage? No. No, I get the courage of the Holy Spirit, man. I've had an arduous life, man. I tell you now, most people that if they were in my position right now, they'd be fucking freaking out. All right. We've been broke for weeks. We're so broke we can't even pay attention, and I ain't kidding. I mean, does it cross my mind? And it's because somebody isn't playing fairly, right? The money's supposed to be there. Is like, I think Shannon's owed several $1,000s at the moment, right? But we know God's going to take care of it. And we know He has a reason for it. We know that if we stick together, there's not there. If my wife and I stick together, there's not anything we can't get through. There's too many people in this world that love us. I won't be homeless. That won't happen. Right? And even if we were, then fine. I'll sell everything that I have. I'll buy a cheap fucking stupid RV or something, and my wife and I can live in that. I don't give a fuck. IDGAF, my friends. Right? I'm just not worried about it. We can laugh at those who think spirituality is the way of weakness. Paradoxically, is the way of strength. I have a lot of strength, man. It's not all my own. Some of it is mine. Some of it is mine. But it's quite often that I need to ask for direction or that I ask God for something to help me. You know, I ask people to pray for me. Sometimes I don't have much strength, so I come on here and talk about it, and my friends give me strength. Sometimes that's the way it works. Like if I'm doing something scary, Dion, you could do this, and they encourage me and support me. That's strength. And it is not all internal. No. No. The verdict of the ages is that faith means courage. Yeah. I was just talking about it. I have courage. There again, is it my own? No. I don't need it to be my own. Why? Because that is what I would call a shared attribute. We are not all sick on the same day. Some days you might have more courage than me. Some days I might have more courage than you. And those are the days that we get to depend upon each other. Well, I'll just take some of Dion's courage today. He's got enough. Take it. Take it. Leisure says, if not for spiritual living, I would be completely hollow, lonely, and a miserable person. Yeah, I would be too. And probably dead. We'd probably be dead. Because I don't know how it is for women, but for men, being useless is the worst. Feeling useless is the worst. Behind disrespect. Respect for men, respect carries a number one top priority, and that doesn't mean that it's just respect. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. RESPECT. All right. We never apologize for God. Instead, we let Him demonstrate through us what He can do. And that's what I am. I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel. I'm God's vessel. I tell you now, sometimes it's highly uncomfortable. But then I find that I just grew from it. When I do this, when I speak at meetings, when I speak anytime, I will do a full podcast and not remember anything said because I'm only partially there. I've got to open myself up to the sunlight of the Spirit, and I let something's coming in. I don't know if it's a spiritual or how it's working, but it seems to work. I don't plan things. Well, some things I plan, maybe an outline or something. Right. But no, I don't plan this stuff. I'll write down what I'm going to say here. Usually. I will use an AI overview. Those seem to be working out, right? I'm not a fan of AI because I don't want it to take over the world. But it's just one of those things where it's a tool in order to use, and I use it the right ways, right? So we demonstrate what He can do through us, what He can do We ask him to remove our fear and direct our attention to what he would have us be. At once, we commence to outgrow fear. I don't agree with that last line. I don't disagree with it either. I mean, if outgrowing fear works for you, then awesome. But I still have my fears. Yes, I do. So instead of having less fear, what I have is more courage. A lot more courage, right? All right. Leisure says an AI overview is nice, like a definition. Yeah, when we can have it for, it's just a tool to be used for the right stuff. So I asked AI overview what it means. What are the benefits of putting pen to paper and why it's important. So it says putting pen to paper offers cognitive and emotional benefits, including improved memory, enhanced creativity, and increased focus. And we're going to need that writing the fourth step, right? According to various sources, it also provides a sense of mindfulness and presence, promoting emotional well-being and self-reflection. Now, notice whenever I bring up these AI overviews for different, it tends to say the same thing. See, AA is connected. I can take two topics which seem opposite and they fit. When you go to an AA meeting and you always hear what you need to hear, is because it is all connected. Improved memory. Studies suggest that handwritten notes lead to better information retention compared to typing. And we need to remember what we did, don't we? Why do we need to remember? So we don't do it again. All right, this is because the physical act of writing forces the brain to engage in more complex cognitive processes, such as processing and rephrasing information. Hey, Daryl, good to see you, brother. Hope you're feeling better, dude. Enhance creativity. The unrestricted nature of blank page allows for more free-flowing thoughts and ideas. Increased focus. Better information processing. Retention of material. But when it comes to, there's emotional and mental health benefits. Let's get to those. Mindfulness and presence. Okay? The deliberate act of writing with pen and paper can be meditative. I didn't even think of that. It's meditation. It's meditation. Well, motherfucker. Grounding you in the present moment and promoting mindfulness. So you're not only meditating, but you're in the moment. You're in the now. And being in the now is the most powerful place to be. Emotional expression and self-reflection. Journaling or writing letters can serve as a safe space for expressing emotions and processing thoughts, reducing stress, and promoting emotional well-being. Well, there we go. What does that mean? It means I'm more comfortable writing it, which means I'm probably going to have a more honest overview because I don't feel threatened by outside forces. Make sure you put your fourth step away. Hide the motherfucker. Put it in the safe if you need to. For me, it's there. Anybody in the house would get to it. But I can tell you now, there's nobody in my family that wants to read it. Okay. Unique connection. What is that? Handwriting is unique to each individual and can be expressed emotions and thoughts. So people write differently. Break from screen time. All right. Whew. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end on this one. I appreciate everybody being here. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And have a day.